Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here. And in disinformation news, we got to talk about the Russians again. They're so effective at their campaigns with disinformation hitting here in the United States and also other countries as well, that they are now getting the top results on Google searches for a lot of different things. Now we're going to talk about one specifically that you may have heard of. And I've actually reported tangentially on this in the past because this is all in the same ecosystem of the Russians. But it's important to understand that because it's getting top results on Google, Google is giving it an air of credibility that it absolutely does not deserve. Now, there's an really interesting and excellent article by David Gilbert of The Wire that dove into this one. And so I'm cribbing from him. But this is something I've been talking about for a while. And this is exactly the problem that we have, especially in an election year here in the United States. And it's not just us again. It is around the world, and the Russians are incredibly effective. And in less than 24 hours, and here's what happened, this disinformation out of Russia about Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's wife buying a Bugatti using aid money that was allegedly sent to them by, obviously, the United States government, basically exploded all over the internet. Now, here's what happened. It originated on an unknown, meaning previously not known, French website, and then basically became a trending topic on X, and then the top result on Google. And so on Monday, July 1st, this is the nuts and bolts of it. A news story was published on a French website called Vérité Cachée. Now, the headline on the article read, Olena Zelenska became the first owner of the all-new Bugatti Tourbillon. Now, that is the new Bugatti car. It is absolutely beautiful if you're into cars. Obviously named after the gravitational timepiece Tourbillon. So this article claimed that basically during a trip to Paris with her husband this past June, the First Lady was given a private viewing of this almost $5 million hypercar by Bugatti, and so she immediately placed an order. It also included a video of a man that claimed to be working at the Bugatti dealership that took this order. All of this was fake. The website was fake. The video was fake. None of this was actually real. That's also not how the United States gives aid money to the Ukrainians. When we say we're giving them $10 billion, whatever it is, they're getting $10 billion in equivalent weapons, in equivalent logistics, all this kind of stuff. Nobody is cutting a check and saying, here's the cash. We're funneling weapons to them to the tune of that amount overwhelmingly, and obviously other things as well. Now, Vérité Cachée is a part of a network of websites that appears to be linked to Russian, basically government trolls, and it's pushing Russian propaganda and disinformation all over Europe and the United States, and basically they're now supercharging this with artificial intelligence. I've talked about this ad nauseum as well. These large language models can crank this stuff out left and right, publish this stuff, and then cross links so they all look like they're valid, and that's literally what they are doing. And according to researchers at Recorded Future, they're the ones tracking this and confirming that what I've been talking about forever is coming to fruition. Now, the group found, meaning Recorded Future, that similar websites on the network had names like Great British Geopolitics, obviously for the UK folks, the Boston Times, and they're using generative AI to create, scrape, manipulate content, publish just fake articles attributed to fake journalists, all this kind of stuff. They even had one that was like the Chicago Observer or something like that, the Miami something or other. I've reported on all of these. You can go watch those videos. Now, dozens of Russian media outlets, many of them owned or controlled by the Kremlin, meaning the Russian government, covered this Bugatti story, citing Vérité Cachée, this unknown French website, as a source. And most articles then appeared on July 2nd, a day after this fake website published that story. And then basically it was spread through multiple pro-Kremlin Telegram channels that have hundreds of thousands to millions of followers. The link was also promoted by a doppelganger network of fake bot accounts on X, formerly Twitter, who has no desire to police any of this crap. And that's according to the researchers at Antibot for Navalny that have been tracking Russian disinformation for some time now. Now, at this point in the story, on July 2nd, Bugatti themselves, maker of the almost $5 million hypercar, issued a public statement saying, yeah, we didn't do that, nor did we sell that car to Mrs. Zelensky. And this is what we're talking about. Everything confirms this is disinformation. But This already had a foothold on X, and then it was posted by a number of pro-Kremlin accounts on X before it was then being picked up by Jackson Hinkle. Now, if you don't know who this person is, he's an American, but he's also very pro-Russian. He's also a pro-Trump troll as well, with 2.6 million followers. I am not essentially getting hyperbolic here or political here. This is simply who he is. Now, Hinkle shared this story and added that it was American taxpayer dollars, quote unquote, that paid for the car. Again, this is fake, 100% demonstrably false news. English language websites then began posting the story, citing on social media posts from figures like Hinkle, as well as Verite Cache, and as a result, anybody searching for Zelensky Bugatti, basically in the past week or so, would have been presented with a link to MSN, Microsoft's news aggregation site, which republished the story written by Al Bawaba, a Middle Eastern news aggregator who cited multiple social media users and quote-unquote rumors, meaning Microsoft picked this up and amplified it as well. It took just a matter of hours for this fake story to move from that unknown website that was spun up by Russian intelligence to become literally the top Google result and essentially explode all over the internet. Now, there are going to be some people that are watching this or listening to this and think, Nick, you're an idiot. You're drinking the Kool-Aid here. But this is the point. The point is that's exactly what they want you to think. It's the liar's dividend, meaning understanding that there's fake news out there basically puts your mentality to a point where everything is potentially fake, and therefore it essentially aids those that would create this kind of information. And so this is obviously a huge story. Microsoft and Google did not respond for comment on this one, at least according to Wired. And so this is the problem that we have. We are going to continuously see disinformation pervasive through absolutely everything. And as long as it aids whatever Russia wants it to aid, we're going to have millions of people that, quite frankly, are primed to believe this. And it's in part because of confirmation bias, meaning, well, I really hate this side or that side of the political spectrum, and this story really reinforces that. So, of course, it's true because I feel it's true. Facts be damned. And that's what we're talking about here. Now, the other side of the story has to be laid on the journalism's lap. It really does, in the sense that how many articles and stories, quote unquote, have we seen that are legitimate that say, well, users on Twitter reacted, and then you see just like a paragraph by a quote unquote journalist and then like 80 different reactions on Twitter. That's all BS. That's not actual reporting. That's just saying what other people said. And who cares about 5 people popping off on Twitter? But when you've got literally one person with millions of followers on there that is known essentially to be incredibly politically biased, putting out demonstrably false information to an audience that is also primed to believe demonstrably false information, we have a huge problem on our hands. And by virtue of that, where are the filters in place here? Now, Twitter, aka Elon Musk, has basically said, we're not going to filter this. It's freedom of speech, blah, blah, blah. Fine, that's his thing. But Google, on the other hand, though, is delivering results that are demonstrably false. And if you are looking at Google for information, and the vast majority of the world uses Google to look up information, this now becomes authoritative, and that's a major coup for Russian intelligence. So I'll get off my soapbox here, but this stuff just bothers the hell out of me because, quite frankly, these are things that we can be finding, identifying, and then educating the public on to basically understand, one, how Ukraine is actually getting aid money. We're not sending them billions of dollars in cash. And two, why these stories are fake and how to look for this. If I was looking this back and I've got this French website and the website was spun up a week ago, okay, that's not good. That's a huge red flag. And so here we are, but not many people get the memo. How many people knew Bugatti issued a statement until I just said it? And how many people of those are even watching this? So this is a huge problem. I'm going to leave it at that. And good luck to us all, because I don't know how we fix this at this point. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP, where I'm not going to BS you no matter what. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please attempt to stay private. And also connect to me on YouTube as well, please. I could use the followers. Thanks.